Morning, Mark.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Good. It's been a year,
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
and it's been quite a year.
It's been a fast one, and I'm glad we're back.
And you've been incredibly productive.
I've been busy,
Yeah,
yes.
you've cut a lot of stones. The last 30, 60 days I've been talking to you, you've been really counting down, getting everything ready for the show that we're going to talk about in the case. And I don't think there's one stone here I could have cut in the whole year.
Well, thank you, Dave. It was a bit of a last-minute rush to get everything ready, but
Yeah.
we're here now, and
Yeah.
good.
Let's get right into it and kind of show you what's up the top, and then we'll circle back and tell you about that. So I want to start with the Vogel wand,
Yes.
and that's a wand, a design that was invented by a scientist named Vogel. Is that right?
Yeah, an IBM fellow named Vogel who looked into the metaphysics of crystals, and he designed a crystal that he thought that you could actually charge with intentions. Whether that's true or not is still being debated, but I really like the design that he did, and I used the angles that he used in his crystals to create this one. Now this one's a lot more complicated, a lot more fun, and is more interesting to look through, but the inspiration came from his original crystals.
So whatever you charged it with, it seems to be working.
Thank you.
And then we're gonna come back to this kaleidoscope at the end and really talk about it. So let's head down to the bottom of the case and we're gonna work our way up. So let's start down here with the Muse. And first of all, why that name?
Well, the Muse is the name that Jeff Graham gave the design. I took the design from Jeff Graham, and underneath that we have a synthetic emerald that is showing through it. And I'm in the process of creating what I call viewing stones, large stones that people can pick up, look at, put in cabinets, play with. And this is phase 2 of the process. So the stone is actually sitting under there and adding a very beautiful effect to it. But by this time next year, we will have the stone attached and it will be a single piece.
So then let's see, this one, this citrine. So give me the name of that one.
That one is, we call that Solera. And that gemstone was designed by Marco Voltellini, one of my favorite designers of quartz. And that is Bolivian citrine, very beautiful. Now that citrine has been heated a little to bring up that color, but it is my favorite color, citrine. And we're using that gemstone as the logo gemstone for our new company, Solera Gemstones.
Because you're a collector gemstone cutter. You know, like I'm sure you cut some for jewelry, but it looks to me like your main jam is collector stones, yeah?
Well, I enjoy the larger gemstone, and the Ultratech allows me to cut that larger gemstone because it gives me, a larger canvas in which to do more intricate designs. But we also cut very small ones down to a quarter, a fifth of a carat for many of our clients. But we can go up to 5,000 carats, a kilo.
Right. Now this looks like you've got a piece. Oh no, the same thing. You have it below it. I love this, the structure of this, of a separate piece. And oh wow! And then when you look into it, you see dozens of. Is that what's the red stone underneath?
So the red stone is ruby, the blue stone is sapphire, and the theme here at the Tucson show this year is red, white, and blue.
Right.
So I thought it appropriate to do a gemstone that was red, white, and blue. And this is our red, white, and blue gemstone. The design was a fan trunk design, and what it does is allows you to put one or several stones underneath and then break it into a bouquet.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, a bouquet of gemstone flowers. But you know, the what I'm seeing is the accuracy of the machine fulfills the dream of the artist, that you're able to use this incredibly engineered machine. That I just heard about a fantasy cutting competition in Germany where the #1 and #2 winner both were using the Ultratech fantasy machine. And that's high praise for a German.
No surprise.
Yeah,
No.
loving that American machine. So then the Cleopatra's Eye. I've seen quite a few of these. I don't think I've ever seen one this big, and just the polish, the symmetry, the cutting is superb.
Thank you, David. It is a large Cleopatra's Eye. I find the design a lot of fun to cut, and I've cut many of them. This is not the largest one I've cut. I've cut an amethyst that was about twice this size. And this one has some frosting also in it. And it also has some mats that go around the pupil to kind of give a dramatic look to it. And this one is just a lot of fun. It's clear quartz, but it's amazing what you can do with clear quartz to just make it entrancing and full of wonder.
Absolutely. Especially the triangular rim of facets that create the, is that the iris, the outside part of the eyeball?
Yeah.
You know.
And then this one also has mats on the back to do the delineation.
Right.
And it's a lot of fun just to take something without color and then add design and depth and scintillation, extinction, dispersion, and let light actually be your medium instead of the stone.
And you know, something that we were talking about the other day during interview, you said you went before doing gemstones and you bought Geometry for Dummies. Was that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And when I look at this, it's super geometry. So to be able to take kind of a basic for adults book and really study geometry, and then have that kind of an end result, and of course having it be sold, is the full chain from research to operations to sales. You know, that's kind of the food chain.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so I did get the Geometry for Dummies. Geometry in high school, let's say I just didn't pay as much attention as I should, so I needed to refresh. Because
Yeah.
what's wonderful about cutting gemstones is you have geometry, you have geology, you have gemology, you have chemistry, you have all these different disciplines that you have to learn and integrate into your art and craft.
Yeah.
And again, this one was also done with the B5 by Ultratech.
Very nice, very nice. And I know you have every piece of equipment Ultratech ever made, and so you have kind of a quiver that you can go from machine to machine and accomplish these things. But let's move up to this. It might be my current favorite. It's a hard call, but the quartz kaleidoscope. You know, that you've cut it kind of similar to the Vogel, but with flatter ends. And then you have this beautiful little wand that I didn't see this coming, that it would be a separate piece, a little gold, almost like a magnifying glass with gemstones set in it, so that when you look through it, you see that. Hats off on this piece of work. Really fantastic. So take us from, like, how did this idea start, and then through the process, and how did we get here?
So it started with the fact that my father collected kaleidoscopes. He had a small collection of kaleidoscopes.
Yeah.
And I have one or two in my study. And I got the idea of maybe creating a crystal that was a kaleidoscope, that the crystal itself was the kaleidoscope, and that you could take it, hold it, and look at different things through it. And this was about 3 years ago I came up with this idea. And it perked for a while, and I mentioned it here to Mark, who does a lecture series, and he said he would love to see me present that. So we got the idea to do it. We had a very large piece of quartz that we had to take this out to get a very clear piece. And what's fun about this piece is it is just a single crystal, and I would say I have somewhere between 60 to 80 hours in carving this piece.
With polish and everything?
With polish and everything.
That's not much. I mean, and from my estimation, when I look at it.
And then, as you were saying about having multiple machines that Ultratech provides, this was cut a little bit on a Glass Tech, a little bit on a V5, and the rings were put in on a Fantasy machine. But it was all done on 8-inch laps, so you could do a stone this size on the V5 or VL with no problem. And then we brought it over to the Fantasy. We were able to put in those rings. The rings go from being far away to closer in order to give the piece some movement, and the taper allows it to give some movement. The base is made of Bobinga wood, tiger's eye, and purple jade. And my good friend Matt the jeweler did the what I call the wand. Now the wand is 14 karat gold, and it has yellow Montana sapphires, blue zircons, grape garnets, and green garnets in it. And what's fun about this is you can pick up the scope, pick up the wand, move it back and forth, twist it, and just have a lot of fun with it, and then just put it back
Yeah.
onto the stand.
Yeah, it's truly it's so many things at once. You know, it's science, it's art, it's a museum piece in my eye.
Thank you.
But I don't think it's going to end up in a museum. I have a feeling this is going to end up on somebody that has the means to afford something amazing like this.
I agree. It'll probably go to a private collector, but I hope that private collector has it out where people can use
Yeah.
it, play with it, and
Yeah.
share it.
So then let's wrap up with, we'll go back to the Vogel wand. I believe he was an IBM engineer that came up with this. And it was something about there was something in there about transmitting images. Some people say that his work has been buried and not really allowed to go to the public very much. So what I've seen has been like photocopies and kind of underground publishing. But I do think, you know, did you put an intention in it? Did you?
Well, I would have to say my intention was wonder and beauty.
Well, mission accomplished.
Thank you very much.
And Mark also has a book for beginning facetors that you can download.
You can find the book on Amazon under Andrew Brown or Mark Oros. Andrew did the designs, I did the articles leading up to it. And what's nice about it is that the designs go from very simple to more complex, introducing new materials, and it's perfect for the beginner.
Fantastic, fantastic display. As a Tucsonan, we really appreciate you coming from Ithaca, New York. I think you kind of like the weather here.
It's been wonderful.
So just fantastic work.
Thank you, David. I appreciate all the nice things you've said.